Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today we're here to talk about the LED keychain light from Letour. Now, full disclosure, I'm going to go ahead and say they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review their lights. I looked them over, and if you know anything about this channel, you know I love flashlights. I'm a flashlightaholic. One, we can't see in the dark, so having something to light your way and light what you're doing is incredible, right? So another things I like about flashlight are multi-modes, different functions, right? Because this is a tool and not one tool fits every job. So this is why I love testing out all the different types of lights. So what I'm going to do is run around it for you. We'll start with the front. Right here you have a seatbelt cutter. You have the clip to attach it to, you could do it to a belt loop, you could do it to a pack, whatever you want to attach it to. You have the light itself, your control buttons. Back here, I'm going to go ahead, this is one of my favorite functions of any flashlight. It's magnetic. It can help you work on your car, it can help you work around the house, it can help you in the outdoors. I mean, I've literally had times where I've been in the woods, I've been out camping, I needed to be hands-free with a light, and I would stab a knife into a tree and attach a light to it. So I'm telling you, it's actually more useful than you think if you have not used a magnetic light. Then on the back, you're going to open it, right? Here's something that's really cool. You hit the bottom button. Oops, hold it. Light comes on. And then this, you see that? Now, technically that's a cigarette lighter. I don't smoke cigarettes, but this is something, if you're an outdoorsman, you could use to ignite tinder, so you could start a fire. If you lost your matches, you lost your fire still, you lost your lighter, like whatever source that you took to start fire in the outdoors, you should always take multiple, always, because of the losing of something factor. But this is a crazy feature that I thought was just super cool. I've never seen this on a flashlight before. You also have, let me just, there, a precision tool, Phillips head and flathead screwdriver. I'm sorry the light's going down, or the sun is going down. Had to work today, been cloudy all day. And I wanted to get this done, so let's just pull out a different flashlight, right? So you can see that there. And then right here, hopefully you can see that, like you have an emergency whistle. Another good thing to always have on you, because if you are in a survival situation, more than likely, if you're yelling a lot, asking for help, looking for help, trying to signal people, you're going to wear your voice out. But also whistles can go to a higher decibel and carry further than your voice, and so that can be a really good thing to have on you, is to have a whistle. I have multiple whistles. I attach them to multiple things when I go in the outdoors. I've never had to use one, thank God. But I'm telling you, having them, I'm sorry, like I just looked the flashlight right in the face, because I'm trying to light this better so you can see it, because I really want to get this review out, because I really want you to know about it and how impressed I am. Now, let's look at the flashlight functions. When you turn it on, it goes to high in white light, low in white light, high in a yellow light or cooler temperature light, low in that same light, and then red. I love red lights. As a matter of fact, I just did a short yesterday or the day before on this flashlight, which has a red light lens, because when you're in the outdoors, if you use white light, especially if it's bright, you're going to blow out your night vision, right? And you don't want that, especially if you're having to move around at night. Red light can't be seen from nearly as far as white light, or even the other cooler white light, or the warmer white light. And if you're hunting, you want to get out to your hunting stand, your hunting blind, you know, wherever it is you're going to do your hunting, you're going to be doing it in the dark because you want to be there for first shooting light. And so you don't want all the animals seeing your light for, you know, hundreds of yards away. So red lights are amazing. Saving your night vision. You could read maps. You can put it in your tent, right? Next function. Yep. I think I just blinded myself again. Let's go through. If you pause, I'm sorry. Now we got a beacon, right? Beacon lights I love, and I have used multiple times. When I'm going to explore an area I haven't been to before, I will put either a white beacon light in my tent or at the campsite, or, you know, and then I go explore because I'm looking around, but you can become disoriented in where you're going. And so having a beacon light can be very important to find your way back to camp. Now with the red light, obviously it's not going to go as far as a white light, but if you're exploring at night, and especially if you don't have a handheld light or taking this light with you, or its sister light or brother light, however you want to refer to it, having some sort of beacon as you get closer, if you didn't get completely disoriented or lost, easier to find your way back to camp from a distance, right? So, or you could just use it to signal people. If you're hunting and your buddy you're in one hunting blind or deer stand and he's in a different one, you could use that to quickly signify, yeah, I'm in position, or you in position, right? And we'll just leave it in that category. I'm not going to go to the further categories that you could use it in, but red lights are extremely helpful. Now, bottle cap opener. You could use this for that very easily. I don't have any bottles in the house that need caps removing. Well, actually, I don't have any bottles in the house that have caps. But once it gets fully dark, I'm going to go out in the woods, and then I'm going to show you how I would use it. One way I will show you right here, because while I'm filming, I may not be able to show it, but it's attaching it to a pack. So as you're walking around, you're still hands-free, but you still have plenty of light going before you. You could hook this to a belt loop, right? And depending on the range of light and how it's affecting your vision, you can move it lower. You can still see where you're walking. You can still, like if you're walking the dog in your neighborhood, or you're going on a hike, you're night hiking because you're a through hiker, or you just want to hike at night just to explore for whatever reason, or you just at camp, you need to go away from camp because you got to go to the bathroom, right? You want to see where you're going. Everything applies. So there's different ways to attaching it to your person, either through a pack, your belt loop, or just holding it in your hand. There's options. Options are always good. All right, guys. So once it gets dark, I will bring you back, and then I'm going to show you how this works in the woods. I'm going to preface it because I always do this with all my flashlight reviews. Cameras do not do flashlights justice. Almost everybody that does a YouTube review of a flashlight will tell you the exact same thing. It's just because, well, I don't know, something about cameras that they don't want to work with a flashlight. But I will explain to you what I'm seeing and what I'm capable of, and hopefully you at least get a really good idea. All right, guys, I will get back to you in just a little bit, because as you can tell while I'm talking, it's getting darker. So it's only going to be an hour for me, a second for you. Stand by. Okay, so right now you can see how dark it is. And so I'm just going to show you the light at my belt level, and so you can see like how it would help you or not help you depending on how it goes. Oops. This is definitely a floodlight. It's not a throw light. This is your immediate area, and this is what obviously you're not going to see in person what you're seeing on camera, just because cameras don't do the justice of exposing what flashlights are capable of doing. So let's just go ahead and run through a couple modes. Oh my goodness, I keep looking down, it's blinding me. I apologize for that. But here we go. What? Oh my goodness. There we go. So that's the low, or the high, the low, the warm light in the low mode, then red. You're not going to pick this much up on camera just because it's red light. That's the advantage of red light, but hopefully you're going to be able to tell something. So again, high on the white light, low on the white light, high on the yellow light or warm light, and then low on the warm light, red light. And here's the beacon. I'm going to stand in front of the camera, so this is not a strobe, but just for a strobe warning, this is what it looks like. Your field of vision is not going to be very far with this, and that's the point of it. But if you're exploring not too far from camp, this could help you. So that's just what I want you to know. Now the level of the light right here has been at my waist, so I'm going to move it up to my shoulder on the pack, and then we're going to see what that looks like at that level and how it could potentially help you, hurt you, whatever your needs are. So now it's at the first one was at waist level. I can see a very wide field of view, but only for about 20 yards, right? If I step it down a mode, we'll do it again. I can still see the same distance, just not as clearly. So I'm really hoping the camera picks this up, but then we're going to go to the warm light. Once again, I can see at a good distance. Once again, about 20 yards. Just a different color, but I can still see. I will go back to the systems again. Oh, sorry. So, this is the low on the warm light. I can still see really well. If I had this hanging on my pack from my waist or from my pack, I can still see where I'm going, at least at a 20-yard distance. So if you know where you're going, that's fine. If you're going to explore, don't use this. If you don't have a high-powered flashlight to go exploring in the woods, don't do it. You don't want to get lost. But I'm telling you, this is a very good floodlight. It's not a throw light by any means whatsoever. And so let's go through the cycle again so we can get through the red light. Red light. This is a very short distance light. The camera is not going to pick up what you can actually see in real life, but you need to know that you can actually see a 10-15 yards distant. I'm not going to hike into a place I don't know with this light, but at the same time, if you're you're hunting and you need to get to your hunting stand, or you're blind and you know where you're going, this is very useful. This is very useful for communicating with people that you know, positions that you want to be at, positions that are close by. and you don't want to be seen from a distance. This is why this is so important, so good for hunting and just traveling when you don't want people to see you. All right, come back to you in just a minute and we'll talk more about it. All right, guys, so back in the studio, you saw the demonstration of it, talked about it plenty. Just kind of want to give you my final thoughts. I did forget to mention that it does come with its own USB-C rechargeable cord, so very happy about that. Love the USB-C. Of course, both of them will. But I'm telling you, this is an awesome flashlight that is so multifunctional. Most of when I look at a flashlight, I'm looking at how can it help me in the outdoors? How can it help other people in the outdoors? But this could also help around the house, fixing your car, all that kind of stuff that I said, where the magnetic portion will really come in handy. I mean, it's been impressive. Again, I'm not going to call it a keychain light because I just think it's too bulky. I won't say heavy, but it's definitely too bulky to be a keychain light. But like I said, hook it on a pack strap, put it on a belt loop, put it in your pack, you know, whatever you want to do. Keep it around the house. That part's up to you. But I'm very impressed with what this does. It's definitely just a floodlight. It's definitely not a throw light. But that's not its intended purpose. You know, this is a tool. Tools have purposes. This is going to be to light the immediate area and short distance surrounding area of where you are, and it fits that role incredibly well. The fact that you get two, even better, because now you can set up two lights depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you forgot to take a lantern when you're in the outdoors, now you can hang up two of these, right? I mean, I always carry multiple knives. I could stab two knives and two trees and have a flood, light up my campsite, you know, in white or red light or the warm light, whichever I choose. There's so much that this can do that I'm really impressed. The fact that it has the lighter on it, I mean, really just sets it over the top for me, because I've never had a flashlight that had the ability to light something else on fire, right? Obviously, I don't smoke cigarettes, but if I have fire tinder quicks, anything like that, a cotton ball and Vaseline, you know, like, just let your mind get creative to the type of tinder that you're going to use. This is probably going to fit the bill. There may be some limitations to it, but I mean, I don't know if I could do a pile of fatwood shavings and set it on fire. I haven't tried that, but if you had a tinder quick or a cotton ball and Vaseline, something like that, it's definitely going to heat that up and it's definitely going to set that on fire. Now, really, I'm truly impressed. For what it is, what its intended purpose is, and that's the important part, I think it rocks, right? You got a small area floodlight, you have three different types of light, and then that beacon mode, which is always good because you can set it up at camp, you can set it in your tent, and that way, if you had to explore around your area, you can always look back and figure out where your camp is. I love that. I've used that many times. So, guys, I'm impressed. I think you will be too. You need to check them out. Letour on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And I'm telling you, for what it is, for what its intended purpose is, I think you will really like it. I'll let a buddy of mine use this one. He used it for a bit. He likes it. He doesn't use flashlights as extensively as I do, but he still really liked it. And so I'm going to tell you, I have to highly recommend it. I love the capabilities of this, the multi-functionality. I've never had a flashlight where I could have a seatbelt cutter, a bottle opener, a lighter, and multi-tool. I won't say multi-tool. Precision tool for a couple of tools to be able to use, plus a whistle. I mean, come on. Most flashlights are just flashlights. They may have a magnetic base, but they don't do all this other stuff. So, awesome idea, awesome in concept, and awesome in performance. And I think that's important to note, is that it's not just an idea, it's an idea that works. All right, guys, Hopefully this will help you in your purchasing decisions of a new type of flashlight. So check out this one from Letour. Again, gonna leave it in the description below. And in the meantime, guys, have fun and be prepared. And I just said my own slogan backwards, so I'm gonna do it again without erasing it. Be prepared and have fun. We will talk to you later.